the basis to make computers. We don't have the basis to really sell them. So I think the best way is through this platform. And so that's just sort of an introduction of what we have. But I thought it would be great to spend some time with you, talk very briefly about sort of your opinions on this whole industry of refurbished computers, because you guys are a big IT developer, right? And so, do you have anything specifically to say about that?
So what exactly in terms of refurbished are you?
See, I'm not too aware on the technological side of things. I'm very much focused on what just meeting the people and talking. I've been with I think Uncle Martin. He's helped to donate some of his computers as well, and besides that, my grandmother has been so kind to help. But in terms of specifically what kind of computers there are, I'm not 100% sure. I can get back to you on that if you want. But in general, I mean, they're like new computers, and they're used.
So basically, the computers that you're donating are refurbished ones?
Yes.
And normally, how old are the computers?
I think they're pretty brand new. We want to make sure that they're in working condition, because we don't want to give them crappy computers.
But if it's refurbished, normally it's 2 years, 3 years of.
Right, but they're still in running working condition. So I think that's sort of an optimal part of what it is.
And then who are the people using what age, and then what's your expectation in terms of?
So, Young Focus is this charity group, like I said, founded in Smoky Mountain, and they are sort of this like daycare / school for all these kids who live in the slums there. So they have grades from, I think, preschool to about grade 6, grade 7, so kids from that entire age range. But we found, since we've been there multiple times, that a lot of these kids don't have the exposure to technology, so their idea and their kind of grasp on that is very basic. So when I was there over the summer to sort of talk to the leaders there who've built that company up, and when I've talked to the kids, they don't really have like a formal curriculum of what they're doing in terms of IT. A lot of them, they have like some online homework, and they're just teaching them the basic motor skills, websites, search browsers, Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, Excel, very basic sort of, nothing coding, no real fancy computer skills, but just the sort of things necessary to survive and to kind of understand the basics of what information technology is all about.
So basically, I think if you're giving refurbished computer, I think your idea is to give them refurbished computer. And then this basically, I just want to understand if I hear you correctly. So you're giving to maybe grade 6, grade 7 kids.
Most of them are. It's actually a big spread, but most of them are younger than that. It's actually, I think, grade 2, grade 3 is.
Yeah, but kids now are tech savvy, so.
You have to understand that these kids are from like the slums, so they've never had the experience before.
Computers.
I'm sure
but I mean, they might not have computers, but even if they're in the slum, funny thing in the Philippines, they have cell phones.
Yeah.
Then sometimes they will have access to smartphones.
Meeting with the people in charge, they've actually informed me that social media plays a big part in these kids' lives. So I think that's sort of a gateway for them into.
So I was about to say, I think in terms of if you give them refurbished, it's okay.
Right.
As long as it's internet capable.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think what's important if there should be broadband. There should be access to Wi-Fi, because if you just give them computers, nowadays everything's into the cloud. So they'll learn Word, they'll learn, but these are the most basic. You learn a lot of things in the internet, and not just on how to use the computer, but other skills. You go to YouTube, you learn a lot of things. So I think that's pretty good. But I think important if you want to buy, a basic refurbished is okay, maybe 2 or 3 years. But you have to have I think the most important is you have to have internet. You have to have you done partnership with the local telco?
No, I haven't. No.
So basically, what you're doing is just giving them the computers.
Yeah, we've been in contact with them for about a year. So we're very close with the people who run the foundation. But I think another idea behind the basis of this organization that we've come up with is being mindfully aware of the environmental impact of computers. I mean, I understand that a lot of computers have a certain shelf life, and a lot of it gets reduced to waste. And with refurbished computers, it's sort of giving new life, hence the name Reboot, giving new life to these computers. So we kind of reduce our carbon footprint in that sense, which is another big philosophy that we're very intrinsically sort of.
How old are you now?
I'm 18.
18.
Yeah.
Very mature.
You think so?
No, for 18 to think like that. No.
All right.
Normally, the 18-year-old that I know, normally they just play computers. So at least there's a corporate, they call it corporate citizenship responsibility.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah. I mean, it's just been, I guess, like a product of my environment. So everyone's kind of like that. But yeah, so going back to that, this environmental factor is such a huge part of the world today. We're just trying to make sure that we reduce our carbon footprint. It's in any way possible, you know, as small as this, or you know, even as huge. It's kind of that. I was kind of wondering, actually, what is the market like for refurbished computers in the Philippines right now?
Unfortunately, in the Philippines, but let's say market, let's say we're selling the.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a company called ComAsia, I think.
I've actually been in contact with some of them.
Yeah.
But so is that sort of the main?
Yeah, but the market depends, but I don't think it will really hit mainstream.
Okay.
Because IT, in terms of computers, it has really went down. The price of went down, and then you have also the proliferation of smartphones, things like that, and even in a way refurbished smartphones. So in a way, I don't think the business market. For us, we're selling brand new computers, and we don't really see them as a threat.
Okay.
And but I think in terms of, maybe your question should be, are there a lot of refurbished that you can use and then you can donate? I think yes.
Okay.
There's a lot of global customers. If you approach them correctly and you show them what you intend to do, I think they will be more than glad to share these computers, because normally computers after 3 years, especially the big ones, depends on the economy. If the economy is good, after 3 years they will have it replaced.
Right.
Then these are the global multinationals that you have to approach. That's a good thing. But for them buying refurbished, that would be hard. I think even ComAsia is having a hard time.
Yeah.
And they have problems with the quality. Even if you refurbish it, we tried, no?
Right.
Actually, if you know Auntie Charlene here,
Yeah.
tried to buy several
Refurbished
computers. After 2 weeks, 3 weeks, one model will have problems and then done.
Okay.
So if it's just personal, maybe. But if you're talking of corporation buying, you know, standard,
can't compete with
and the standard.
Right.
I mean, if you have, let's say, 3,000, 5,000 computers deployed for one company, and it's different standard. So you just imagine the headache of the IT managers maintaining, spare parts, things like that. It will be hell if you think. So it's not to their advantage. In the long run, it will be, the total cost of ownership will be more expensive.
More expensive. Yeah. So you think the potential is pretty limited in terms of the corporate standpoint.
Corporate, even the price also, even on a personal.
Yeah.
I don't think it will be. Companies should try, but I don't think so.
Okay. From like an environmental standpoint, though, do you think, or you know, you guys are big technology distributors. What have you guys been doing in terms of that's sort of benefited, or what have you guys been planning to do in terms of anything that is environmentally beneficial, or do you guys?
Are you talking about AMTI, or are you talking about the Philippines as a whole?
We can shoot both.
Now, if you think of the Philippines as a whole, unfortunately, the awareness in terms of environment is not yet there. People are talking, you know, you have to save the environment, you have to do this.
No actions being taken.
No actions are being taken. There are some companies that's been doing that, but it's not really. I mean, if the problem is food, if the problem is poverty,
You want to
don't think of that would be the priority instead of the.
Understood.
If you're at a first world country like let's say United States,
Sure.
then that's different. You think about the environment, but if the food, I mean the very survival of someone, then you think about how to make money, how to put food at the table. So that's the thing here. But lately, there are some companies that's especially the more affluent one. They're starting to talk about this, but they are like singing. They're in the dark. They're looking for light. There's not really a lot of people listening.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about from AMTI standpoint?
AMTI, we have our corporate responsibility, but honestly, we don't have a environmental.
Right. It's not there yet in terms of.
But what we do in AMTI is that we have a lot of projects. We have lots of projects that save the environment. For instance, we partner with a foreign company that we did the satellite modeling, the digital satellite. We use the satellite to digitalize the topography of the Philippines, and then what we did with that satellite model, the digital, is we gave it to the Pag-asa. I don't know if you're familiar with Pag-asa. Pag-asa is our weather bureau, department of weather bureau, and they use that to do their flood modeling model for the software. You know, the Philippines has always have a problem with flood.
Yes.
And people will just be surprised that water will be coming, and then sometimes they don't know that there will be flood here. And the problem with the environment right now with the Philippines is that the typhoon is getting stronger and stronger.
Yeah.
So in the past, when they say, it gets flooded here, but it's up to knee-deep, ankle-deep, down knee-deep, then suddenly there will be big storm, and then they'll be surprised that it's, because there's always flood, so people became accustomed to it, and it's okay. They're like in the warehouse in Pasig. Now they're surprised that the water is over
higher and higher.
It's higher because the typhoon is getting stronger and stronger. So what we did there is that we were able to work with the government and then to put a flood modeling model simulation that if the rain is this much, the flood water, the height will be this much.
From that,
So from that perspective, you will
sort of understand
people. It's in the internet. It's part of the project NOAA, if you're familiar. So people tend you tend to save life.
Yes.
Another project that is ongoing is that we partner with the government, with UP, University of the Philippines. This is an NGO, semi-NGO, semi-government project that we put sensors in the river basin, of the different river basins in the Philippines. And a lot of things are happening that, let's say there's big rain, there's a big typhoon on the mountains, and you have kids playing, then suddenly water will come in. So what we did there is that we were able to simulate the water flow, things like that, and then that saved life also. So the river flow, sometimes it's dry, and then this couple rain, and then there will be what height, things like that, how fast. So those are the things. If you remember Yolanda, the reason why a lot of people died there is because I think the warning system was not functioning, and then people tend to, they always get flood. But they
don't understand the severity.
The severity, and then even the word tsunami and it was not probably explained. So I think those things.
Those are steps that you guys are taking in the right direction.
So we're doing a lot of. I think your questions. In terms of environment, MTI has been working with the government in terms of that. But for us doing, unfortunately, we haven't. Our corporate citizens more of we get food, we get things, and then we go to the old people and then give them
That's another
money.
form of helping. That's another form of
That's a
helping,
different
for sure.
way. But yeah, now you're talking about environment. Yeah, maybe that's something
that's
that
something
we
maybe in the back of your mind.
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
keep
yeah.
too. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's a business, right? It's about making the money. So.
Yeah, but with business. But the good thing with AMTI is that the corporate, even the other companies now,
Right.
we look at our corporate. We want to give something back to the society.
Of
So
course.
Christmas, we have people going to the home of the aged. We bring food. It's just food. We go with them and then spend the whole day with them. But I think that's not enough. We need to do something that's more sustainable, because
Absolutely.
this one is like, sometimes they say it's a conscience.
Yeah.
I think a
Some
conscience
people
charity.
do it for right.
Yeah, so I think you're right. Maybe so. I'm glad you're doing something like that.
I mean, every little.
I'm
thing
impressed.
helps, really, thank you so much. I think that's pretty much everything I had to ask. Thank you again for your time.
Okay.
Very much appreciate it.